Today we're looking at English words and phrases that sound unusual, if not downright funny. They are Flibbertigibbet, Lugubrious, Hooray Henry, and Lalochezia. Funny as they sound, their meanings may not be funny at all. Discover the origin, meaning, and usage of each word and much more. But first, do subscribe to The English Nut on YouTube, Instagram, Facebook, and X. Thank you. Do you know someone who simply can't stop talking? Not deep philosophical conversation, mind you, just the light, trivial chatter that can wear you out after a while. Well, that person is a Flibbertigibbet. It's one of those words that practically dances off the tongue, describing someone flighty or silly, often flitting from topic to topic like a hyperactive butterfly. The Flibbertigibbet at the party spent 20 minutes telling me about her cat's wardrobe. Don't be such a Flibbertigibbet, George. Stick to the point. It's hard to focus on my homework with this Flibbertigibbet babbling away. Flibbertigibbet is a playful incarnation of the Middle English word Flibbertigibbet, which meant gossip or chatterer. This word has onomatopoeic roots. Its sound mimics the fluttering nonsense of meaningless chatter. Its first appearance is in the 15th century morality play, The Castle of Perseverance, which happens to be the oldest full-length English play in existence. In the play, the word was used to represent a mischievous, devilish character. Later, Shakespeare too used Flibbertigibbet as the name of a devilish spirit in King Lear, suggesting that idle gossip might be something darker. While that fiendish interpretation didn't quite stick, Sir Walter Scott revived the word's impish charm over 200 years later, giving the nickname Flibbertigibbet to a cheeky urchin in his novel Kenilworth. The first movie I saw as a child was The Sound of Music. I used to try to sing the songs from this wonderful musical for years afterwards. One of the songs is called Maria. It's about the main character in the film who is named Maria, played by Julie Andrews. The song goes, "How do you solve a problem like Maria? How do you find a cloud and pin it down? How do you find a word that means Maria? A Flibbertigibbet, a will-o'-the-wisp, a clown." The word was suggested by Rama J. Sudev. On the other side of the emotional spectrum, we have lugubrious. This word sounds as mournful as it feels. It's used to describe someone who is sad or down in the dumps. In fact, lugubrious is almost a poetic exaggeration of sadness. It's not just feeling blue, it's wallowing in the deep, dark indigo of despair. I don't want to seem lugubrious, but the slow jazz and rain didn't help my mood. The lugubrious clouds hung over the city, reflecting my mood after a long, dreary week. He walked around the office with a lugubrious expression after his appraisal meeting. The word has Latin roots in lugubris, which means mournful. It's been in the English language since the 16th century. It's perfect for poets, dramatists, and that one moody friend who always seems to have a rain cloud over their head. The word was suggested by Jhumjhumi Das, who came across the phrase lugubrious-looking individual in Agatha Christie's works. In her play Black Coffee, for example, Christie writes, "Sir Claude's butler Treadwell, a tall, lugubrious-looking individual with an impeccably correct manner, had sounded the gong for dinner." If you've ever encountered an overly posh, entitled and somewhat clueless person who seems to live in their own elite bubble, then you've likely met a Hooray Henry. It's a cheeky phrase describing the sort of chap who oozes privilege but may not have the substance to back it up. Yet they tend to speak loudly and behave in a noticeable way in public. The wedding was full of Hooray Henrys, all talking about their premium seats at the Coldplay concert and exotic foreign holidays. Don't let him fool you with that Hooray Henry charm. He's never worked a day in his life. The Hooray Henry brigade arrived at the club loud and obnoxious as ever. The phrase was coined by American journalist Damon Runyon in 1936. In a piece for Collier's Weekly, he wrote, "He is without doubt strictly a Hooray Henry, and he is generally figured as nothing but a lob as far as ever doing anything useful in this world is concerned." Here, lob is used to mean a big, slow, clumsy person. Though American in origin, Hooray Henry became a staple of British satire and was used to lampoon the out-of-touch upper classes. The phrase has also been used to describe members of the British Conservative Party, including former Prime Ministers David Cameron and Boris Johnson, who came from this sort of a social background. A twist on Hooray Henry is Hooray Harry, which was used to describe Prince Harry and his entitled lifestyle. Prince Harry brought a case against the newspaper who coined Hooray Harry. The term Hooray Henry was suggested by Chandrasekhar Ghosh. Now for something a little more, well, colourful. Lalochezia. This fascinating term refers to the emotional relief or pleasure one gets from swearing. Yes, we've all been there. Stub your toe and suddenly a stream of bad language bursts out, and somehow you feel a little better. After missing the bus, my Lalochezia kicked in, and I felt oddly relieved after muttering a few choice words. Jane believes in Lalochezia, especially after dealing with her slow computer. Sometimes a good dose of Lalochezia is just what you need to get through a frustrating day. Lalochezia comes from the Greek lalos, meaning talkative, and chezo, meaning defecate. It's a term concocted by a French doctor in the 19th century. While it's not exactly a common word, it perfectly describes that cathartic moment of letting out a few profanities to ease the tension. I admit quite freely to Lalochezia, not just for physical pain, but emotional pain too. There's nothing quite like a swear word full of hard consonants to express the pain, frustration, or upset verbally, says Angela Porter, artist and writer. Apparently, there's science behind this. Studies have shown that swearing can help reduce pain and increase tolerance to stress. So next time someone curses after jamming a finger in the door, remember, it's just Lalochezia at work. This word was suggested by V. Banerjee, who classified it as Tharurian vocabulary. So from the dizzying chatter of the Flibbertigibbet to the melodrama of Lugubrious, the ridiculousness of Hooray Henry, and the guilty pleasure of Lalochezia, we've covered quite the emotional spectrum. What's your favorite? Feeling chatty, melancholy, or perhaps ready to let loose with a few well-timed expletives? I look forward to your comments below. I'm the English Nut. Bye for now.